Right now we're going to go to the phones, and we have Brennan Smiley, lead singer and guitarist for the Technicolors. You there, Brennan?
I am. Hello.
What's happening, man?
Not too much. Just driving to Alabama.
First things first, I want to thank you for coming on. And other than driving, what's going on?
Well, we just started our East Coast leg of our U.S. tour. So we wrapped up the West Coast leg a couple weeks ago, and we just had our first show last night in Austin at Stubbs. And we're heading out to Birmingham. We've got the day off today, using that day to drive all the way there, and then we're playing some shows starting tomorrow.
All right. I didn't know what to expect when I first researched you guys, and I have to say, outstanding. You blend psychedelic with folk, classic, and other variances of all forms of music. It really is an amazing job. Can you tell us how it all came about?
Yeah, it basically, the whole thing started as a solo project that I was just kind of experimenting with and messing around with. And the first kind of handful of songs that I recorded, I actually hired out some Nashville musicians to play on them, and we tracked it in Nashville. And then once I came home after that, this is probably 3 or 4 years ago, came home and started playing shows and kind of met up with a group of guys, and the guys that started playing out with me, we really hit it off, and we decided to form a band and start writing some songs, and it sort of just burst out of that, and it burst out of a lot of songs that were more acoustically driven, and now everything's a little bit more rock and roll, and that kind of changed just from playing live shows. So that, playing out and touring kind of helped define the style of music that we wanted to play.
You just released Listener, I believe is the title of the CD.
Yeah.
What went into making that CD?
Like stylistically, or...
Well, just the whole job. I know you guys just got together, and, did it mesh very well for you guys?
So it was an interesting process. Most of the songs on that record we wrote pretty quickly before the time of recording, if not during the time of recording. So it was, it was interesting. It was definitely a hustled experience. We didn't have a ton of time to really, live with anything, but we wanted to embrace that kind of urgency, and we learned how to have a good time with it, and because of that, songs definitely continue to shape themselves live. But yeah, everything came together. We just didn't really know. It was the first time doing it, so everything came together really well, and we were really happy with it.
That's so awesome, and I have to say, right now my two favorites, and I'm getting some feedback, so I apologize for that. My two favorites are Hollywood and Fake a Smile. Did these two songs, how did they originate? Were these songs already written, or?
Yeah, so Hollywood was actually a tune that Mikey, our guitar player, and I had played, and we actually wrote it kind of on the fly, because we had these two stripped down kind of two-piece acoustic gigs in Hollywood. So we kind of just put it together and named it Hollywood because we were writing it to go play these shows. And again, this is like probably 3 years ago now. And that song had always just been a live song for us, and it just kept changing and molding as we would play it. Every 2 months it would change, pretty drastically. So for that one's kind of, that song's been there since before the band has been there. And Fake a Smile was kind of similar. It was written very fast, but that was actually written, maybe a few months before we tracked the record. So yeah, two kind of different extremes for both of those songs.
Very cool. I like them both. They're both when I listened to them, I was like, wow, this stuff is incredible. Where have these guys been? Seriously. Besides the fact of when you started and your age, what was or is your background? How long have you been playing? And the reason I ask is because you guys sound like seasoned veterans, and it really is amazing stuff. So,
thank you.
So what, like, did you pick up the guitar at the age of 2 or 3?
No, I actually started playing drums at 3, and I played drums from about 3 to 5, and then when Batman came around, I put the drums down. But music was kind of always just in my blood, and I started playing guitar maybe around 10 years of age, and then my dad is actually a producer who works out of Nashville a lot. So all throughout, junior high and high school, I was able to start playing guitar in the studio on projects that he was working on. And, I was actually planning on trying to make a career out of that after high school.
Yeah, I read something about that. I seen that.
Yeah, just before I started writing songs, and then everything came together. But so that's kind of my background as a musician, and all these other guys kind of have different backgrounds too. But
you've obviously honed your craft very well, because
thank you.
I love these 2 songs. I really can't get enough of them. Is it all right if we play one of these tracks?
Go for it.
All right, we're gonna play right now "Hollywood" by the Technicolors right here on WSUR.
Was a whisper came running out your mouth. Who you thought was your long lost sister, turns out she never was found. The desert, she loves the rain almost as much as the drought. And her brothers, they love the music, but they can't stand the sound. Oh, the sound. Them on her back for quite some time, singing, "Give me life, give me love, as though I've been denied." Oh,
This is WSUR, and that was the Technicolors with Hollywood. Brennan Smiley on the phone, the lead singer and guitarist for the Technicolors. What's happening, Brennan?
Not a whole lot.
Still on the road, huh?
Still just cruising.
Still just cruising. As I said, I was researching you guys a little bit, and I seen a handful of bands, but are there any other influences that you can throw out to us that we might have not seen, on your website? Because I know I seen Zeppelin there, I believe I seen Hendrix there. So, if you could just tell us some of the influences for the band.
Yeah, we like a lot of kind of all over the board too. We like a lot of older bands as well as a lot of kind of newer bands, and we're big fans of some of the early Killers stuff, The Strokes, Oasis. I'm a huge fan. I might be the only one in the band, but I'm a huge fan of the Cardigans.
Oh, that's cool.
And trying to think, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes all over the board.
Yeah, it's a great mix, I gotta say, and you take all these influences and how you incorporate it into your music is just, it's phenomenal. And, I'm curious to know, if you were to classify a certain genre for the Technicolors, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like to leave that a little bit open-ended, because there are so many different genres floating around right now.
Yeah.
So, and this is our first record, so people ask us, we just kind of stick to rock and roll, and it's more up to what everyone else thinks. We've been called as like Brit rock, desert rock.
Yeah,
I've
seen that too.
Yeah, all different kinds of versions of rock and roll. So we'll take any of it. We're not overzealous of what genre we are right now.
No, I hear you. Because, the reason I ask is because there's a lot of bands out there that, I know, being in radio, they'll come in and they'll say they're pop or metal, and it's like, well, wait a minute, they don't belong in that genre. You know what I mean? So it's always good to get a feel for it. I mean, I love your stuff all the way through, so to me, I consider it rock and roll.
Yeah, that's what we stick with.
Was being so diverse an objective for the band from the very beginning? In other words, was the end result exactly what you set out to do?
Yeah, so, that wasn't something that we really had to force or had to try to do. It was definitely something that we weren't afraid of, and that, we like to embrace, differences in songs, and we want to have a multi-dimensional record, so you don't get bored listening to it.
You're right.
So, and, it's great to challenge yourself and to see, what kind of songs you can write. And, some of them, are totally different than others on the record. And it's, I think we just pull from so many different influences and genres. And I like so many different kinds of music that that naturally just happens, and it comes down to honing it a little bit more.
Well,
so,
it works very well for you, I really, and
thank you.
I can't say that enough. Is there anything you want to share with the listeners about the Technicolors we may not know?
I probably not, other than, we're touring the East Coast right now. We'd love to see you come out. We're playing Birmingham tonight, then we're off to Nashville, North Carolina, and then we're heading up from there. So,
yeah, well, that leads me. It's great you said that, because you segued me right into my next question. I will be attending your show at the Middle East Nightclub on the 17th in Cambridge, Mass.
Great.
What can we expect from a Technicolors show?
Expect a loud rock and roll show. Like I said, we tend to, these songs have definitely changed a little bit. Not too much, but because there was so little time in between the writing process and the actual recording of the songs, these songs have definitely evolved to become more of their nature. So just expect a good time and some fat bass lines from Nico.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, so the last question. What is next for you guys? I mean, are you going right back into the studio after you get off the road? And, hopefully we'll hear more of the same.
Yeah, so we're actually kind of just in a season of touring right now. So we're going to be hitting the road probably for the rest of the year as much as we can. And I think we've got some festival dates that we're confirming for this fall. And yeah, as far as a new record, I'm always writing stuff and we're always coming up with ideas, but we have no idea what the timeline looks like as of now.
Well,
so.
you know what? Take your time, because whatever you did the first time, I really couldn't believe it, because I said to myself, wow, this is the first newer band that I found that actually kind of brings you into the psychedelic era. You know what I mean?
Cool. Well, thank you.
It's you got a lot of everything in there, and that's what I like. I can't wait to see you guys live. And with that being said, I know you're on the road. I appreciate the time you've given us here on the G-Spot. So at this time, I would like to thank you and the band. Good luck in the future. I hope nothing but the best for you guys, and I can't wait for more stuff to come out.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been great talking.
Hey, no problem. And I would also like to thank NECR for hooking us up, NewEnglandConcertReviews.com. So I'd like to thank them as well. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to let you go. But before I do that, I am going to play one more song from you guys. And this is Fake a Smile. Again, thank you, Brennan. I appreciate it. Drive safe. Have a good trip. And rock some shows out, man. I'll see you guys on the 17th.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to it.
All right. Peace.
Thanks.
This is the Technicolors, Fake a Smile, right here on WSUR.